what we have done in Selangor. In Selangor, now we have open tender for government contracts. We save every single cent that we can find so that it can be given back to the people. For example, every year we have a budget of 1.5 billion, 1.6 billion ringgit. We started with a reserve of 400 million ringgit. When we opened our books in 2008, our MB Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim, very stingy man. He looked, opened up, he said, my goodness, how is this government going to survive? You only have 400 million ringgit in your reserve. Your annual budget is 1.5, impossible. So he squeezed all of us. He said, we want to do this, cannot. We want to do that, cannot. We want to do this, open tender. Sebut harga, sebut guy is getting quotation. We want to tarot. Let me check how much first. Thank you, check. Today, 4 years later, we have our reserve of 2.5 billion ringgit. 2.5 billion ringgit. Of course, people say, ayo, 2.5 billion. You keep in your pocket, what for, man? What if UMNO come and take all the money? Cannot. After many months, we go and kacau our MB. This budget hearing this week, budget presentation in our state assembly, he made an announcement. He said, okay, I will make sure we spend a little bit of the money. We will spend 500 million ringgit. That means we have 2 billion left. He wants to make sure it's still very healthy. We can survive for 1 year. If there is a terrible economic crisis in the world, we can survive 1 year. He will spend 500 billion ringgit. 500 billion ringgit, a million ringgit, sorry. 300 million. He's going to build the 3rd bridge in Klang for the people of Klang. They have been promised in 2008 during elections by the federal government they will have the 3rd bridge. After they lost Klang, all the seats in Klang, then the federal government said, sorry lah, you didn't vote for us, so we don't give you bridge. Apa ini, janji ditepati atau janji dicapati? So there's absolute rubbish. Never mind, we'll build the bridge when we win. Not if, when we win. When we go to Putrajaya, Tan Sri Khalid will send the bill to Anwar Ibrahim. Come, pay up this bill for the Klang Bridge. 50 million, we will build affordable homes. Many young people, Malay, Chinese, Indian, orang asli, dan lain-lain. Young people today cannot afford a house. Cannot even afford to buy an apartment. My staff here, poor thing, cannot even qualify for a bank loan because I pay very little. Sorry, please continue to work for me next term. But that's why we are committed to making sure that there are affordable homes for our young people. Those earning 3,000 and below, those who are fresh graduates, those who are working for the government, like my staff. Some of you, some of your kids, just fresh from university, you don't get big bucks. These young people will get a chance to own a home in Selangor. And then the rest of the money, we want to make sure that it comes to you. This is good financial management, and you can never expect this with UMNO Barisan National Government. Let me tell you this. Federal government, up to today, how much are they in debt? More than 500 billion ringgit. Not million, 500 billion ringgit. There's a lot of zeros. It means that everyone now in Malaysia, from a baby to an elderly person, each one of us owes 18,000 ringgit. And still they tell us to smile when they give us 500 ringgit. And then another 500 ringgit. And that's enough for them. But they have taken more from all of us. Every year, consecutively, 13 years consecutively, UMNO Barisan Nasional has tabled a deficit budget. You compare with Selangor. Every year, since 2008, we have tabled a balanced budget. and we still have a reserve at the end of the day. We've done all these financial management, good practices, transparency. We have freedom of information. We make sure that whatever you want to know about the government is no longer a secret. You can write to us, you can find the information, and you can use it if you want to. That is an open government. That is a democratic government. This is all done in 4 years. Every year, as our YD Gan said earlier, every year we give special funds for Chinese schools, for Tamil schools, for religious schools. We didn't ask, just before general elections, you see a lot of politicians and give a lot of money. We are not like this. Every year we give 16 million ringgit to all these schools. Thus far we have given 64 million ringgit to all the 3 schools, 3 types of schools in Selangor. And that's the difference. Free water. Everyone in Selangor, they have free water. When we started giving the program free water, UMNO Barisan Nasional said, "Ayo, sure bankrupt one, our Selangor government." Are we bankrupt today, Selangor? No. We are not bankrupt. We have one of the best reserves in the nation. They said, opposition cannot handle investment, cannot handle tourism, cannot handle anything, cannot do their job. Today, we started in 2008. How many tourist arrivals? This is under my department. About 3 million only. 4 years later, today, last year, 6 million. We have more than doubled. 6 million ringgit. 6 million arrivals, tourist arrivals. Investment. Today, we are still #1. And investors keep putting their money in Selangor. But investments such as the oil refinery in Pengerang, such as Linus, these are investment we don't want in Selangor. And it is only under Pakatan Rakyat that we dare to say no to Linus. Don't come to Selangor, don't come to Penang, Pengerang refinery, don't come to Selangor or Penang, because we know that it is bad for the environment and it is bad for the people. Today, we were walking. Yesterday we started to walk, actually, from Gombak to Kuala Lumpur. We walked many kilometers, I lost count, about 3-4 hours, I think. And lost some weight. That's why today can fit a bit. But it is the determination that we can see from the people of Pahang, from the people of Kuantan, the desperation to send a simple message to the federal government that they do not want this project. And yet, they don't want to listen. There are those that refuse to listen. That is, our friend here was just telling me, Australians are laughing at Malaysia now because they'll never have the project in Australia. But they don't have a problem if it's in Pahang, in Malaysia. Which is why we went down, we welcome the people from Pahang, the 60-odd green walkers. Today, ladies and gentlemen, today, there were more than 20,000 Malaysians at Dataran Merdeka. This is the people's power. And all this we can do. We are confident of doing all this if we are in government again, to improve ourselves. But let me tell you something very straightforward. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, I am afraid we cannot win in Selangor this time. It is not because our economy is bad. It is not because our policy is bad. It is not because we are corrupt, that our Menteri Besar Tan Sri Khalid is incompetent. It is not because of that. It is because in Selangor, all the key state assembly seats have gone up, some up to 50% from 2008, including Bukit Lanjan. Now in Bukit Lanjan, believe it or not, since 2008, there are 15,000 new voters. Out of these 15,000 new voters, we cannot find 40% of them. We have gone house to house. Imagine, we have some friends here, some friends from Damansara Damai, they are here, from Bandar Sri Damansara. They walk house to house. They went up each flight of stairs, went to each apartment unit. They cannot find around 5,000 voters in Bukit Lanjan. Let's talk about Paya Jaras. If you think 15,000 is a lot for Bukit Lanjan, new voters, Paya Jaras has 16,000 new voters. Kota Damansara has 17,000 new voters. The Parliament of Subang has more than 40,000 new voters, out of which we cannot find 40% of them. This is why I want to tell all of you, if elections is free and fair, if there are no hantus, no phantom voters, we will not only retain Selangor, we will not only win back Perak, we will also win Negeri Sembilan, Sabah, Sarawak, Terengganu, Perlis, and many other states. We will be in Putrajaya. But we have this problem. Phantom voters. People moved left, right and center. Luckily I got some new voters from Tony Pua. I don't know why. So I want to thank SPR. So from Damansara Utama, now some of them are voting in my area. I say, okay lah, not bad lah. But what about the rest of the areas? We cannot find them. This is why Bersih is important. People say Bersih is political. No, Bersih is trying to clean up the electoral roll. And this is where everyone here, you have a duty to not only come out and vote on election day, on polling day, but you have to come out and defend democracy, defend the ballot box, defend Malaysia, save Malaysia. Can you do that? It's not just to put in the ballot. We have gone beyond this. Our country, we are at a stage where it's like a patient is in ICU. If we keep having the same medication for this patient, the patient may die. If we try a new treatment, a better treatment, this patient may live. And this is where our country is. We are at crossroads. We can become a great country, the best country that we deserve, or we can become another country just like Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, because this is how UMNO Barisan Nasional is measuring our country. Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, all of you who do business, you know that their GDP is better than ours, their growth is better than ours, they are getting more investment than Malaysia. You know that. Any business person can tell you. Who is the next rising star? Which country? Burma, Myanmar is the next rising star. Where are we? We are just back where we are. I went through some of the documents. Najib likes to say GTP lah, ETP lah, this and that lah, all this very transformasi dan sebagainya. Just recently he announced under, I don't know what lah, GTP transformasi, something 2.1 billion ringgit worth GDV project in Selangor, in Petaling, Jaya. So I looked at it. I said, what nonsense is this? This project was approved 2 years ago by MBPJ, but yet he go and take it and put it in his textbook. That is a way they just packaging things that other people are doing and pretending that everything is okay. Everything is not okay. Some of you have read that we have in Selangor, according to the newspapers, according to Muhyiddin and Najib, that Selangor is running out of water. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Let me tell you this, there's so much water, we don't know what to do with the water. Now we have to go and dig big ponds all over the place in Klang and Sepang to push all the water into those ponds, retention ponds. What is missing. It's not water. It's not that we have lack of water. 唔係冇水啊，係冇水啊！你明白冇？呢啲暗no Barisan National 而家冇 project 咗，冇水，所以有得呱呱叫。I want to thank everyone again for all your support. But we need you. We need all of you to come out and help us. Come out and help us campaign. Come out and make sure no phantom, no ghost will be casting their vote. We need you to come out to defend the ballot box from being stolen. This will be the dirtiest general elections ever. If you thought 2008 was bad, this will go down in history. This coming general elections will go down in history as the dirtiest ever. Every citizen, if you are a Malaysian, you have to stand up and say no to dirty tricks, no to dirty politics. We want free and fair elections. True, correct. So all of you, tonight we have a nice meal. You paid a bit of money to help with our campaign. But come the general elections, which will be just in a matter of weeks, we need everyone here to register, help us be polling agents, help us to be counting agents. Make sure this time, ini kalilah, this is our time. 这就是我们的时间，改朝换代 ，reformasi. Make this change. We can do it. Thank you very much. 谢谢大家，晚安。